Today, the topic is faithful to the end. Faithful to the end. Walking with God in every season is what this series has been about. You're not just faithful at one moment in time, but faithfulness should stretch out over your entire lifetime. Welcome to Just a Thought. We've talked about being faithful when it's hard, while waiting, with little things, and today we're talking about finishing strong, being faithful to the very end. Since we are all still walking and talking and breathing and upright, I'm not talking about faithful until death, although we should be faithful throughout the entirety of our life. But I'm talking about faithfulness that stretches into every aspect of who we are. Paul words in 2 Timothy 4:7 carries this kind of timeless idea as he talks about this notion of being faithful throughout the entirety of this journey of life. 2 Timothy 4:7 says it this way: I fought the good fight. I have finished the race. I have kept the faith. Finishing strong, and I've said this in earlier episodes, can never be about perfection, but it's about resilience and perseverance. It's about choosing faithfulness over convenience. Choosing faithfulness even when the road seems long and that there is no one listening and that the reward seems so far away that they begin to seem, if there even is a reward, that it's far-fetched, that it's out of our hands' control, that we'll never get there, wherever there is. Faith isn't measured in sprints, in short bursts of passion or compassion. But faith is a lifetime of steady reflection, devotion, prayer, calls to action with God. We live in a world that often celebrates, I say again, the quick win, the shortcuts, the instant gratification, the pats on the back, the huge projects that come off all shiny and important in the eyes of as many people as possible. We want that quick win, or many people want to see and get gratification from what they're participating in. But kinship building in, with, and through God, through our personal relationship with Jesus Christ, through the promptings, guidance, and every day of the Holy Spirit, works over a period of time, is about building over a period of time. See, because God calls us to a different standard, a different way of hoping, a different way of loving, not just occasionally, but to walk faithfully, consistently, in a relational, trustworthy way with Jesus until the very end. And I'm not just talking about the very, very end, but the very end of whatever we're participating in. If you're participating in a specific service or project, or in your job or at school, be consistent and resilient in your faithfulness to it, to your words and your promises. That's the true measure of life being lived well, or a well-lived life, of running your race. God is not just looking for sprinters, although there are times when we must sprint in order to get done what needs to be done, in order to complete what needs to be completed. But God is shaping us for the marathon of faith, a life anchored in God's promises and fueled by the power of the Holy Spirit and lived with the promise of eternity. But we're not in eternity. We're in the present and moving into a future each and every day. And that's a part of our worldview as well. It's understanding and standing under this persistent and consistent resilience build up over time, recognizing that there'll be highs and lows, challenges and joys, but it all makes up a life that is lived when we live it through being faithful. And this idea of finishing strong in whatever we do, whatever we take on. What does finishing strong, however, look like to you in this season? Because we're always in a season of life, which means that we are not stuck, or we're not in one place. We're dynamic beings. And so where is it in life that you're being invited, called, seeking to finish strong? Are there areas where you have loosened your grip on your faith and where you've grown weary, complacent, or even just plain given up? Have you got so caught up in the celebration and the joy and the good things that are happening in your life that your faith has kind of been pushed aside? Remember, finishing well isn't about how you compare to others. It's about staying faithful to the race, to the journey that God has given you to run, the race God has marked out for you. And the Spirit of God is running right there with you, strengthening you, encouraging you, and leading you toward the finish line of faith. On the finish line of faith, as we know it, on this side of God's creation. And so this week, as we are looking at in this series, as it comes to an end, what it means to finish strong, let us think about this expanded call to action. Let's recommit our walk, your walk. Ask God to refresh your endurance if you're feeling weary, to renew your spirit, to help you to stay consistently and constantly connected to God, especially in those times when we want to push our faith and say, oh, faith is not a part of this. Faith has nothing to do with it. Faith always has something to do with whatever you think, say, and do. Pray for strength to persevere, not in your own power, but know that God delights in sustaining us through grace and in grace and through the power of Jesus Christ and the guidance and discipline and promptings of the Holy Spirit. Remember to be an influencer who encourages someone else. a family member, a friend, a person who is a believer, a person who is seeking something higher, bigger than they are, to stay on course so that you can help others finish strong as you are seeking to finish strong. Your words could be the very reminder that someone needs to keep going, that someone cares, that you're not alone, that I am thinking about you, praying with you, that God is with you. And so, as we begin to think about the close of this particular series, uh, we're going to continue to build on what we've already been talking about in the podcast, and especially this idea of being faithful. Until next time, I'm Pastor Monica J. This is Just a Thought, and you can reach me through my website, PastorMonicaJ.org. You can reach me through my email, PastorMonicaJ@gmail.com. And of course, on my YouTube channel, youtube.com, Pastor Monica Jefferson. Until next time, God bless, and I love you.